Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I hope you all have been good and healthy and blessed. Guys, for today's video, we are going to have a look at the NBA draft. The first round just happened last night. And yeah, a lot of interesting things happened. I was not able to watch it live because I couldn't find a way to watch it here in Germany, and it was also in the middle of the night and I have to work. But this morning, waking up, the first thing I did was of course looking at my phone and checking how things went. Very exciting times right now in the NBA. A lot of stuff happened, some contract extensions, some trades, some rumors on, of course, the NBA draft. And then we soon have the second round draft, which is also interesting. We still have like Bronny James, very interesting one. And yeah, but for today's video, let's have a look at the first round and jump here on NBA 2K. And let's go through it. Of course, with the number one pick, the Atlanta Hawks drafted Zachary Risacher from JL Bourg-en-Bresse. It was, for me, a surprise. Of course, the last days we heard that Alex Sarr does not want to go to Atlanta. I don't know why, but he didn't even want to work out with them or something. And I think most people would have taken him number one. I definitely would have taken him number one. Yeah, I don't know so much about Zachary Risacher. Like, my worries is that he just becomes like a Nicolas Batum, to be honest, and that as a first, like as the number one pick. I don't know, man. I'm not sure. Like, he's very young, so he needs some time. The Hawks, I mean, they want to compete, right? Like, they still have like a competing roster, and then bringing him in, I don't know how much chances and how much time they want to give him. So I'm a little bit worried, to be honest. I don't really love the fit. Like, you have Jaden Johnson there, DeAndre Hunter, two accomplished NBA players. It's going to be tough. I think he's like a small forward, maybe power forward. Yeah, I'm not a great fan of it, to be honest. I would have liked Alex Sarr way more, but maybe there were some personal reasons there. I don't know. I would even have considered a trade because like the top three or top two in this draft, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. But anyway, yeah, I'm a little bit worried with this one. Let's go to the Washington Wizards. They draft Alex Sarr out of Perth. For me, perfect. Like, he is, I think if the Wizards would have had the number one pick, they would also have drafted Alexander Sarr. So him falling to you at number two is definitely a W. They also made a trade with Danny Avdija, and it just looks like they're really all going now for a rebuild, which I definitely love to see. And yeah, I'm very excited to see him in a Wizards uniform. He's definitely going to become a starter right away, no doubt about that. And yeah, he's going to get a lot of playing time, and for me, he's one of the candidates to get Rookie of the Year, just because he's going to get a lot of touches as well. So I really like that draft. Definitely a W for the Wizards to get him at number two. So definitely a winner for me here. The Hawks is a loser for me. Number three, Rockets draft Reed Sheppard. I really like that. Fred VanVleet replacement. He can play the point or the shooting guard position. I personally like him more as a shooting guard, but we will see. Like, Amen Thompson may also look like a point guard of the future. So him and Sheppard. But there's also some rumors that they might make a big trade for KD maybe, or even Devin Booker, and then they probably would have to include Reed Sheppard there, out of Kentucky, of course. But like, let's just stay in the moment, and him going to the Rockets, I really like. I'm a fan of him. I would have loved to see him in a Pistons uniform, but yeah. Understandable that the Rockets did not want to see that happen. So I really like him as a number three. I would have taken him as well. So the Spurs draft Stephen Castle. They did have another point guard selected in Rob Dillingham at number 8, but they traded him away. So they're really giving the keys to Stephen Castle out of UConn. He's a winner, definitely a winner, and yeah, the Spurs need that point guard, so it was obvious that they're going to select a point guard in this year's draft. It was just a question, him or Dillingham, maybe Topic. I would have loved Topic, to be honest. Even Isaiah Collier, was some talks about it. But I think getting Stephen Castle, it's fine. I'm not the biggest fan of him, although I really like UConn, it's my favorite college. But yeah, it's alright. I'm happy and excited to see what he brings to the team and to the league. Yeah, but I would have had other players a little bit higher. I also would have loved a Donovan Klingen there. Um, yeah, but it's fine. So my Pistons, they go Ron Holland the second, who had a terrible season in the G League Ignite. The team was terrible. Especially his three-point shooting percentage looked terrible. But you know what? He has the potential. He's very young. He's like 18 years old. He played with grown-up men, so he has that experience already. And yeah, his defense is really good. I think he has a lot of potential, so I'm definitely not mad at this pick. Again, I also would have loved a Donovan Klingen, maybe a Dillingham, because I do start to think maybe Cunningham should go back to the three, small forward position. And then, yeah, we could have selected a point guard, but now it looks like Cunningham, Ivy at the guards position, Holland, Osar, Thompson, and yeah, we will see. Of course, Doran also in that starting lineup, but I hope they give him a lot of chances. He needs time, definitely. He's not he doesn't come from a winning community, which definitely. Yeah, it's not good to see as a Pistons fan, but I'm not mad at the pick, to be honest. I think they could have done worse. Like the next guy we are talking about, Hornets drafting Tidjane Saloon out of France. For example, that's a player I don't know what to expect out of him. I'm so happy that the Pistons did not take him. I rather have Ron Holland than Saloon. Yeah, what I've seen and heard, I don't know. He looks like a player, maybe like a Bilal Koulibaly, somebody like that, who needs a lot of time. The potential definitely is there. He's playing now with one of the best league passers in LaMelo Ball, also Brandon Miller there. So an exciting team. I don't know, is he like a power forward? Where do they plan him? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him at the moment. So I'm glad that the Pistons took Ron Holland. The Hornets can take Tidjane Saloon. So the Trailblazers actually draft my guy Donovan Klingen. And you know what? It's so funny. Like I always thought Donovan Klingen going to Portland or Memphis looks like the perfect situation. And it turns out it is. The Trailblazers, they do have a lot of big men now. Also Kamara still there. And Ayton, Robert Williams and others as well. So they have to figure it out there. Jeremy Grant also there. Maybe he's plays some small forward, or they actually can ship him in a nice trade. We will see that. But him going to the Trailblazers, I do like it. I hope he doesn't become like a next Zach Collins. That would really be sad. It didn't really work out and he was always hurt. But I'm a huge fan of Klingen going to the Trailblazers. A W for me there. Yeah, very good selection. So 8th pick, there was a trade with the Spurs and the Timberwolves for some future first round picks, and the Spurs select Robert Dillingham and trade him right away to the Timberwolves. And you know what? I think it's a steal. The Timberwolves need a long-term replacement for Mike Conley. Robert Dillingham comes to an environment where he doesn't have to deliver right away. He is probably like a six man of the bench, somebody like, or maybe even number 7 or 8 of the bench. He doesn't have to start right away. There's still Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, Mike Conley, one of the better NBA leaders in my opinion, who can pass him a lot of knowledge. And so yeah, he goes to the perfect environment and has time to develop. And also once Conley retires or leaves the team, he's probably going to become the starter. So a very nice trade for the Timberwolves. It came out of nowhere in my opinion. Yeah, definitely a W. So the Grizzlies at 9 take Zach Edey out of Purdue. I mean, he was of course one of the most talked rookies or draft prospects to talk about a lot in the past. And yeah, it was a shocker. I don't think anybody in the world saw him going as high as number 9. There were some reports after the draft combined that teams really like Zach Edey. And you know what? Like me personally, I do think it's going to work in the NBA. I think his three-point shot and mid-range shot is going to be fine. And of course, he's going to play some defense, and he definitely deserves a nice selection because he yeah, played very well in the college. So I'm happy for him. As number 9, I think it's a little bit high for him, to be honest. But yeah, I'm happy for him. But I wouldn't, if I would the Grizzlies, yeah, I probably would have gone differently. Like still Devin Carter being there, maybe Cody Williams, Matas Busilis, somebody like that. But they all want to win right now, and I give them props for that. And hopefully Zach Edey can help them to win. Alright guys, next team up is the Utah Jazz at number 10 drafting Cody Williams. So I think the Jazz got a really nice draft here. They also got Isaiah Collier later on. And yeah, with number 10 Cody Williams, of course the brother from J-Dub. There were some times where he was like a top 3 prospect. In my opinion, he never was. I was not so high on him. I think number 10 is pretty fine for him. Could have even dropped to 15, I still would have been fine with it. But him going to the Jazz just give him a try. So really like that. At 11, Matas Busilis out of G League Ignite. So Busilis coming home, he had some tears, I saw that. And you know what? I think the Bulls are doing the right thing right now. They selected a young player. They didn't want to get an older player again and just kind of stay in that no man's land. Of course, the Giddey trade happened. I think him and Busilis, I don't know how well they fit, but we will see that. I'm sure they're not done with making trades, and free agency is also going to be interesting what they do with DeMar DeRozan. But for today, the Bulls drafting at 11 Matas Busilis, I think it's a W. He has a lot of connections to Chicago. I love it. And yeah, the Bulls just giving a chance, a young player. Just don't mess him up, guys. Like, just let him play. Just please don't make another Patrick Williams situation out of it. So at 12, the Thunder drafts Nikola Topic out of Croatia. Crazy how much he fell. Like, he was also a top 5 prospect for most of the year, and now falling all the way to number 12. Of course, he was injured, but him going to Oklahoma, like, I mean, for him it's the best situation. He does have some injury problems. He goes to a team where he doesn't need to play right away. He has a lot of time to develop, but you know, there's also a lot of pressure there, to be honest, because there's so many draft picks, and if a player just doesn't work out, I think they're going to give up on you very quickly. So yeah, it's a tricky situation for Nikola Topic, in my opinion. He really is not going to get a lot of minutes, but he has to play good enough to make the team wanting to keep him, right? So it's tricky, man. It's really tricky. Yeah, but I think the Thunders just kind of went best player available, and yeah, it's a very good player. Of course, they already have Cason Wallace there, Alex Caruso, of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So he has to fight his way through. Number 13, Kings draft Devin Carter out of Providence. Love that. Very exciting for that. Can't wait to see that happen. W trade. Trailblazers draft Bob Carrington out of Pittsburgh and traded him right to the Wizards. So again, the Wizards, one of the teams who won, in my opinion, in this draft. They got Alexander Sarret too. Now they also bring in Bob Carrington, a nice guard. So really like what the Wizards are doing at the moment. Can't be mad at it. He drafted Kel'el Ware out of Indiana. They did also give Bam Adebayo a huge contract extension, so he's under contract until 2029 and on a lot of money. So yeah, Kel'el Ware is probably just going to be a backup, but you know what? At number 15, I mean, you can't be too mad about it, right? Alright, 76ers draft Jared McCain out of Duke. Yeah, very solid there. I'm not mad at it at all. Good shooter. He's a little bit older. I'm sure the 76ers are going to compete next year. I don't think they're going to be successful, but they try their best, and then bringing in a little bit more inexperienced player, Jared McCain, makes a lot of sense. The same with the Lakers at 17, bringing in Dalton Knecht out of Tennessee, one of the best scorers. He had multiple plus 30 points last year for Tennessee. Yeah, JJ Redick was a shooter, so he's definitely not going to be mad at that. And yeah, like somebody who can get minutes right away off the bench, so not mad at it. The Magic draft the German guy out of Munich, Tristan da Silva from Colorado, also a little bit older player. Now they have 3 Germans on their team. It kind of looks like they fell in love with German players, with the Wagner twins and now Tristan da Silva. I'm not too sure what he's going to bring to the team. Yeah, a lot of question marks there. But you know what, they could also have gone for a younger player. I wouldn't be mad at it, like a Jacoby Walter, for example, or a Kaishon Short, somebody like that, or like a Isaiah Collier, just give him a chance. But they went with a more experienced forward. Yeah, we will see. I'm excited. Yeah. So at 19, the Raptors draft Jacoby Walter, a good scorer out of Baylor. Him and Scotty Barnes can be very dangerous. Of course, Scotty Barnes also got a huge contract extensions. So yeah, the team is set. You also have Emmanuel Quickly, Grady Dick, and others. We will see what they do with Jacob Perl, but yeah, they also went through are going through a rebuild, and Jacoby Walter for me looks like a perfect guy, a young player off the bench, a scorer, microwave player, very good. Cavaliers draft Jalen Tyson out of Cal. To be honest, I don't know much about him. I've heard his name a couple of times, but I've never seen him play, so I can't say too much about it. Pelicans draft Yves Missi out of Baylor, so him and Zion is going to be interesting. They're probably also up for a trade with Brandon Ingram there. And Yves Missi for me looks like a perfect center for them, like he can become a backup right away in my opinion. And it doesn't have to go sent to the G League in my opinion. We will see what they do with him, but I'm not mad at it. So the Suns draft Daron Holmes out of Dayton and traded him to the Nuggets. So the Nuggets getting Daron Holmes, they did have some problems with Nashi and yeah, DeAndre Jordan. And yeah, so them bringing in a big man, it's really good. I think he was one of the better rebounders in Dayton. So yeah, it's good for them. Really like that they made this trade, to be honest. Bucks draft AJ Johnson. Again, I can't say much about him. Knicks draft Keyshawn George. I think, does he have roots in Switzerland? Did I understood that right? So I lived there a long time, so it's kind of cool to see Switzerland players there. He also got traded to the Wizards, as like I said, like another young prospect. I think he has a lot of potential. I don't think he's related to Keontae George, right? Like, if you know that, let me know in the comments section. I would really appreciate that. The Knicks also draft Pakombe Dadiet out of Ulm from Germany. They say here in Germany that he has a lot of potential, so we will see about that. But yeah, I didn't like Stephen A. Smith's reaction. Like, I think it was fun like a couple of years ago when the Knicks made some questionable decisions, I would say, like Frank Ntilikina, or what was his name? I can't even pronounce it right. But you know that point guard they drafted at, what was it, number 7 or number 9 a couple of years ago. Yeah, so he was always making fun of the Knicks, but I think that time is gone, man. Like, just move on from it. The Knicks are not that franchise anymore where you just laugh at them. Like, they are doing a great job, and yeah, just give this guy, like, he's so young, he comes out of Germany, just give him a chance, man. Like, just stop like making fun of him. He didn't even play a minute in the NBA. I don't know, just do, like, it seems like he does everything for the likes or for the views, so I don't know, man. I didn't like that so much. But anyway, let's move on from him. Number 26, the Wizards draft Dylan Jones out of Weber State, traded to the Thunder. Yeah, I can't say much about it, to be honest. Wolves draft Terrence Shannon Jr. out of Illinois. Nuggets draft Ryan Dunn, traded to the Suns. So Ryan Dunn is one of the more interesting players in this draft. I think his defense potential is up to the roof. He could become an all-defensive player candidate at some point. Yeah, I have very high expectations on him, to be honest. Jazz draft Isaiah Collier out of USC, so Bronny James' teammate. Yeah, that was definitely a surprise. I had him going much higher. Like, for most of the year, he was definitely a top 10 pick. So falling all the way to 29 is kind of Cam Whitmore last year. But yeah, the Jazz really had a good draft, I think. Celtics draft Baylor Shireman out of Creighton. Again, I just can't really say much about him. I've not watched him. So yeah. I think it's going to be fine. But guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you appreciated and you enjoyed it. If you could leave a like or subscribe to my channel or write a comment, I would really be happy about that. Guys, I love you and I see you at the next one. Peace.